All right, fam, what's going on? Roland Martin here. Glad to be with y'all on this day for the Roland Martin Unfiltered podcast. Today, of course, is January 8th, 2018, and certainly glad to be with you. I was going to wear something else today, but considering the NCAA championship game is tonight, national championship, it has two SEC teams, Alabama and Georgia. I wanted to go ahead and wear my Texas A&M, jacket, if you will. So representing the SEC on today's podcast. And so not going to hold y'all too long. It's just a few things that I want to talk about and just a few things I want to deal with. First and foremost, of course, everybody's been talking about this particular book right here, and that is Fire and Fury Inside the Trump White House by the author Michael Wolff. Now, of course, journalist, and so I read the book over the weekend. Y'all might have heard me on ABC this week. We were talking about the particular book. And I read it in about 8 hours. It's about 300 some odd pages. And so here's the deal. For me, there's nothing in the book we didn't already know. Okay? So let me just start there. There's nothing in the book we didn't already know. We knew Donald Trump was a narcissist. We knew Donald Trump only cares about Donald Trump. We knew Donald Trump is not the smartest person in the world, or as we say, all hat, no cattle, or as I always say, he ain't the brightest bulb in a dark room. And that's just sort of who Donald Trump is. But it did give us a peek into the window of the thinking of the very people who are around him. Many of those people were talking on the record. Katie Walsh, I was on ABC this week with her last year. Sam Nunberg, Steve Bannon. Of course, now Steve Bannon has apologized, saying, I wasn't talking about Donald Jr. I was talking about Paul Manafort. No, player. You were talking about Donald Trump Jr., who also not the brightest bulb in a dark room. And so let's just be real honest here, who you were talking about. But the thing that is interesting to me about the book is that at the end of the day, here's the deal. Donald Trump is president. Donald Trump will be president for the next 4 years. I've made that point to people. You can talk all you want to about there might be impeachment, it might be, all that sort of stuff. But that's the deal. Donald Trump is who he is, and what he represents is what he represents. And so let's just understand that. But we do have to understand, and as I said on ABC this week, and my apologies, I meant to load a clip in my switcher here, but I did not do it. So you can see some of what I said yesterday. But this is what this represents for us. The Republican Party only cares about power. Let me say that again. The Republican Party only cares about power. Also, let me say this here real quick to the folks watching. If there's a connection problem, that's on you. It ain't me. I got 100 megabits per second upstream, downstream, and I'm monitoring the whole deal. We got a great connection, and so I'm just letting y'all know. So that's that cricket plan some of y'all got. So anyway, the Republican Party only cares about power. Let me say it again. They only care about power. So, for instance, Democrats always want to be right. Democrats want to do the right thing. Democrats forced Senator Al Franken to resign. Democrats forced Congressman John Conyers to resign because Democrats wanted to be able to say, see, You see what we did? We forced ours out. Yet Congressman Blake Farenthold of Texas, who's just nasty, who settled an $84,000 sexual harassment lawsuit. Only 2 Republican women in the House, Barbara Comstock of Virginia, Mia Love of Utah, called for him to resign. 2. That's it. Have you heard Speaker Paul Ryan say Farenthold must resign? No. Have you heard that? No. Will you hear that? No. Have you heard Senator Mitch McConnell say that Blake Farenthold should resign? No. You know why? They care about power. So for y'all to understand what's going on here, and for you to understand what's going on with Republicans and Trump, this is what I said on ABC This Week yesterday. The white conservative evangelicals, they don't care about morality. They don't care about character. They don't care about any of that. None of it. Do you know what they care about? Right-wing judges. That's what they care about. Right-wing judges. They care about conservative judges on the Supreme Court, on the federal bench, who will overturn Roe v. Wade and overturn same-sex marriage. That's all they care about. That's it. Nothing else. Then you have the money people in the Republican Party. All they care about, that $1 trillion tax cut. That's it. It's another wing of the party. All they care about is Trump going to increase defense spending? Boom, we're good. That's all they care about. All those people in those little red Make America Great Again hats, they're going to get screwed. And they don't even realize that those interests, those special interests, they don't care. So the Republican Party, let me be real clear. Donald Trump is proving it. They don't care about integrity, character, morals, or principles. They care about power. That's what they care about. That's it. They care about power. Democrats like to be right. Democrats like to be on the mark. That's it. Republicans Republicans, you know what they'll do? Republicans will say, we'll win. Let me tell you something right now. If Roy Moore had beat Doug Jones, Roy Moore would have been seated last week. Period. Republicans don't care. Republicans not sitting here going, all that nonsense. You saw late. What did they do? Oh, we're going to pour money into this campaign. Oh, baby, we're going to pour money into this campaign. Oh, yes, we will. And we don't care what y'all think. That's the GOP. So, Fire and Fury is going to sell a bunch of copies. It's going to sell a bunch of copies. It's not going to change a thing. It's not going to change a thing. Nothing. So I'm just letting y'all know. It's not going to change anything. So just understand that. Nothing will change. So I'm done with that. Let me go to topic number 2. Topic number 2, oh my God. So today, the United States Supreme Court ruled that a black man in Georgia should get his case reviewed because a juror used the N-word and really questioned black people. The court ruled 6-3. I'm reading from USA Today. Supreme Court gave a death row prisoner in Georgia hope for a different fate Monday because of a juror's racist comments. The court ruled 6-3 that convicted murderer Keith Tharp deserved another chance in federal court to prove that his death sentence was tainted by the white juror's reference to Tharp as a nigger and other racist remarks. I have wondered if black people even have souls, juror Barney Gaddy said in a sworn affidavit. The High Court's liberals were joined by Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Anthony Kennedy in the unsigned opinion, which orders the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit to take the remarks into consideration in deciding Tharp's fate. Quote, Gaddy's remarkable affidavit, which he never retracted, presents a strong factual basis for the argument that Tharp's race affected Gaddy's vote for a death verdict. Now, Tharp was convicted of murdering Jacqueline Freeman, a black woman, 27 years ago. So this is not, white prosecutors, no. This was a black man convicted of murdering a black woman. This issue here, y'all, is not, whether he's innocent or guilty. The issue here is whether or not he should have been sentenced to death and the comments factored in. So the issue is, this is not, he was innocent. No. It's that this juror used race as a part of it. Now, here's what's stunning. The court voted 6-3. That means 3 Supreme Court justices said, don't matter, put him to death. Yes. You want to guess who those 3 are? The new Supreme Court Justice, Neil Gorsuch, in that stolen seat. I'm still ticked Obama should have appointed a black woman and not Merrick Garland, but that's another story. Justice Samuel Alito, hardcore conservative, and yes, the only black man on the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas. You heard me right. The only black man on the Supreme Court, a black man from Georgia, Clarence Thomas, wrote, "This is ceremonial hand-wringing and a useless do-over." Let that marinate in your spirit. Let that marinate in your spirit. The only black man on the Supreme Court literally wrote that. Really? If you want to see a justice who regularly rules against black people, you can bank on Clarence Thomas. Yep. Now, Tharp was supposed to die September 26th. The Supreme Court took a look at this. This is a quote in the majority opinion. At the very least, jurists of reason could debate whether Tharp has shown by clear and convincing evidence that the state court's factual determination was wrong. Oh, but not Thomas. Thomas accused his colleagues, and I'm reading the SCOTUSblog.com. Thomas accused his colleagues of bending the rules to show their concern for racial justice. The court must be disturbed by the racist rhetoric in the juror's affidavit and must want to do something about it. Yeah, black man, they do. Thomas's ruling, Thomas complained, y'all know you're going to love this one. Thomas complained that today's ruling only prolongs the inevitable by sending Tharp's case back to the lower courts for a useless do-over. Said that the court is delaying justice for Jacqueline Freeman, the black woman who was brutally murdered by Tharp 27 years ago, because the court should not be in the business of ceremonial hand-wringing. Thomas lamented, I respectfully dissent. So here's what I'm trying to understand. And y'all can help me out. Is it death final? Is it death the end? I mean, isn't that it? So please explain to me why you shouldn't look at it, Clarence Thomas. You should. And see, y'all, here's the problem. For that part of the country, when you want to seek relief from the Supreme Court, that part of the country, it comes to Clarence Thomas. See, that's why when Obama tried to cut a deal to put some voter suppression loving federal judges on the bench there in Georgia, this is why Congressman David Scott and others blocked it, because they knew what kind of judges these are. Yeah. Thomas literally wrote a 13-page opinion. This is inevitable. Inevitable. And you really ought to read what he wrote. Putting aside its misreading of the decision below, the court inexplicably declines to consider alternative grounds for affirmance. The court acknowledges that our review is certainly not limited to grounds expressly addressed by the court whose decision is under review. But the court does not explain why it nonetheless limits itself to the question of prejudice. The court's self-imposed limitation is inexcusable given that Tharp's collateral challenges to his sentence have lasted 24 years. The court's failure to consider alternative grounds has halted an imminent execution. The alternative grounds were reached below. Several of them were briefed here, and many of them are obviously correct. In fact, the district court identified 2 grounds for denying Tharp relief that no reasonable jurist could debate. Dude, it's death. It's death. So if you have to look at it, and it takes another 6 months, it's death. It's death. See, this is why black folks have never liked Clarence Thomas. Because he routinely, he literally is saying, ain't no big deal. I want y'all to understand. He literally saying, yeah, okay, I know a juror said, called him a nigga and said, I don't think black people have souls. But he did it. So why are we intervening? That's literally what he's saying. This is, I just got the DVD in the mail for the movie Marshall. And I'm telling you, I every time I think about Thurgood Marshall, and I think about what kind of amazing jurist he was, and I think about Clarence Thomas, there's just no No ruling. Okay, so here's the deal. Facebook people, I am posting the link right now to the Supreme Court decision. So let me, you know what? Let me do this here. Want to read what Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas had to say in ruling against a black man in Georgia. Read the ruling here. Okay, so I just posted on Facebook and Twitter. I don't, for life of me, y'all, I don't understand. I don't understand. When you sit here and you think about this man, and you think about what he has to say, and then what he represents, I don't get it. That's just me. But I tell you. All right, let me go to my third story. So last night, Oprah Winfrey received the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the Golden Globes, and everybody today is talking about what Oprah had to say and whether or not Oprah Winfrey should run for president of the United States. Here is some of Oprah last night.
But all I can do is quote and say that the explanation in Sydney's performance in Lilies of the Field, amen, amen. Amen, amen. In 1982, Sydney received the Cecil B. DeMille Award right here at the Golden Globes, and it is not lost on me that at this moment, there are some little girls watching as I become the first black woman to be given the same award. It is an honor. It is an honor, and it is a privilege to share the evening with all of them, and also with the incredible men and women who've inspired me, who've challenged me, who've sustained me, and made my journey to this stage possible. Dennis Swanson, who took a chance on me for AM Chicago. Quincy Jones, who saw me on that show and said to Steven Spielberg, yes, she is Sophia in The Color Purple. Gail, who's been the definition of what a friend is, and Stedman, who's been my rock, just a few to name. I'd like to thank the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, because we all know that the press is under siege these days, but we also know that it is the insatiable dedication to uncovering the absolute truth that keeps us from turning a blind eye to corruption and to injustice, to tyrants and victims and secrets and lies. I want to say that I value the press more than ever before as we try to navigate these complicated times, which brings me to this. What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. And I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to speak up and share their personal stories. Each of us in this room are celebrated because of the stories that we tell. And this year, we became the story. But it's not just a story affecting the entertainment industry. It's one that transcends any culture, geography, race, religion, politics, or workplace. So I want tonight to express gratitude to all the women who have endured years of abuse and assault because they, like my mother, had children to feed and bills to pay and dreams to pursue. They're the women whose names we'll never know. They are domestic workers and farm workers. They are working in factories, and they work in restaurants, and they're in academia and engineering and medicine and science. They're part of the world of tech and politics and business. There are athletes in the Olympics, and there are soldiers in the military. And there's someone else, Reese Taylor. A name I know and I think you should know too. In 1944, Reese Taylor was a young wife and a mother. She was just walking home from a church service she'd attended in Abbeville, Alabama, when she was abducted by 6 armed white men, raped and left blindfolded by the side of the road, coming home from church. They threatened to kill her if she ever told anyone. But her story was reported to the NAACP, where a young worker by the name of Rosa Parks became the lead investigator on her case. And together, they sought justice. But justice wasn't an option in the era of Jim Crow. The men who tried to destroy her were never persecuted. Reese Taylor died 10 days ago, just shy of her 98th birthday. She lived, as we all have lived, too many years in a culture broken by brutally powerful men. For too long, women have not been heard or believed if they dared to speak their truth to the power of those men. But their time is up. Their time is up.
Sorry, folks. So that was Oprah. That was part of the Oprah speech last night. Many of you, of course, you can go to YouTube and check the whole thing out. So, first of all, a powerful speech, very well done, and it is interesting. Clearly, that a lot of people have actually not heard Oprah speak. I think if you take that speech in the moment, in terms of the whole Me Too initiative, hashtag Me Too, and also Time's Up, and of course with Donald Trump in the White House, you take all of that, people go, oh my God, Oprah coming out party. And I tweeted last night was at Oprah's 2020 introduction to the 2020 presidential campaign. Do I believe that Oprah Winfrey is going to run for president? Absolutely not. I believe that Oprah recognizes she has a significant level of influence, power right now. And the reality is running for president, being president, is a far different deal. It's weighty, it's serious. But I want to read this. Because I need people to understand this, and I get it. We get involved in these conversations all the time, but I think it's important for people who don't actually bother to read the Constitution to actually read the Constitution. So when you see people say that so-and-so isn't qualified to be president, let me help y'all out. Section 1 says, Section 1, Article 2 of the Constitution, the executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the vice president chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. And it lists the various electors. It says, no person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 and have been 14 years a resident within the United States. That's it. That's it. The president shall, at stated times, receive for his services a compensation which shall neither be increased nor diminished during the period for which he shall have been elected, and he shall not receive within that period any other emolument from the United States or any of them. Before he enters on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. And then it goes into section 2, talking about the issue of being the commander-in-chief, treaties, and things along those lines. First and foremost, I was reading from the actual document. The reality is women were not intended to be president of the United States. And so when people talk about the founding fathers, you have to remember America was a nation founded on the premise that white male landowners would have the power in this country. That's what this country was built on. So when you see something, when someone says that so-and-so is not qualified, that actually isn't true. If you meet those very definitions, 35 years old, natural born citizen, living 14 years in the country prior to running, you are qualified to be president of the United States. Let me say it again. It does not say in the Constitution that you have to be a politician. In fact, many of you may not even realize that any of you could actually qualify to be Speaker of the House. Oh, you didn't realize that, huh? Yeah, you didn't realize that. Now, I know for some of y'all, this is some of y'all might say, Roland, what are you talking about? I can't believe this here. This is the reality. The Constitution does not require that the Speaker of the House be an elected member of the House of Representatives. Do you hear me? I just want y'all to understand that. The reality is anyone in the country can be Speaker of the House. That's why when they had the election for Speaker of the House, you'll notice that sometimes Colin Powell or somebody else will actually get a vote if they don't want to actually vote on that particular person. Yes, that is actually true. The Constitution says the House of Representatives gets to choose the Speaker. And anyone in America could actually be elected Speaker of the House. Just to let y'all know. So that's out of the way. Does Oprah Winfrey qualify constitutionally to be president of the United States? The answer is yes. Now, after that, citizens then get to determine whether or not they think that person is qualified to be president based upon whatever it is they want to talk about. So you had presidents, in the case of President Obama, who was elected, who had not even served a full term in the United States Senate. You've had folks like George W. Bush, who was in his second term as governor of Texas when he was elected president. You had George H.W. Bush, who was the vice president of the United States, who ascended to the presidency. You had Jimmy Carter, former governor of Georgia, peanut farmer. He becomes president. You got to remember that Gerald Ford became president, wasn't elected at all. Spiro T. Agnew was the vice president under Richard Nixon. He resigned, and then Gerald Ford at the time was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the number 3 person in line to become president. He ascended to the vice presidency under Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon resigns. Gerald Ford becomes president. So he wasn't even on the ballot. As president or vice president. Lyndon Baines Johnson, vice president under John F. Kennedy, becomes president when Kennedy gets killed, runs for re-election. Before that, Eisenhower, 2-term president. Before that, he was simply a 5-star general, and then he became, I think it was 5-star general, but he was definitely 4-star. But he becomes president of the United States. Harry Truman became president, was vice president under Franklin Delano Roosevelt. FDR dies, Truman becomes president. So that's the deal there. So she qualifies according to the Constitution. So when we begin to ask, so I want us to think about this here, because I think when people begin to say that, well, who gets to be qualified? Well, guess what? There are all kinds of reasons. And people say, well, a celebrity should not be president. Well, first and foremost, are you just a celebrity, but she's also a business owner? You can make the same argument about Trump. Has she been involved in politics? Well, you could say, well, not officially. But to be president also means about temperament, the ability to be able to work with others, the ability to be able to negotiate, all those different things. I don't know how Oprah would hold up under a presidential campaign. And that's the whole point of the campaign, how grueling it is. We don't know. But I tell you right now, if I had a choice between Oprah Winfrey and Donald Trump, ain't even a question. Because he certainly doesn't have the temperament to be president of the United States. Not even close. So I would easily pick Oprah over Donald Trump. Do I think she'll run? No. Do I think she'll consider run? No. I don't. I know a lot of people also pining for Michelle Obama. She ain't running. Y'all can hang that up. Ain't gonna happen. Ever. She's not running. So those are my thoughts on Queen Oprah and President of the United States. I believe there are going to be a lot of Democratic candidates. I believe you may have as many as 15 to 18 different Democrats consider running for president of the United States. And we'll see what happens. I believe California Senator Kamala Harris is going to run. I believe that Senator Cory Booker is looking hard at running. I do believe New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is going to run. I believe that Senator Elizabeth Warren is going to take a hard look and may very well run as well. I'll tell you one person who I've said before who I think may very well run for president, and I think it could be extremely interesting. New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu. I just want y'all to think about that. Y'all may hear that come back again. White man, mayor of a city, majority African American, former lieutenant governor of Louisiana. I'm just trying to tell y'all. I want you to think about that. Just remember that for a second. If y'all all of a sudden go, hey, is Mitch Landrieu making some moves? Very well could. Because here's the deal. I don't believe you need to just be a senator or a member of the House to run for president. In fact, I have no problem with a mayor running because, frankly, that takes a different skill set to run for president of the United States. And so, just my thoughts right there. Okay, folks, here's the deal. Y'all talking about me run. Ain't going to happen because I will cuss somebody out. I got no patience for stupidity. I just don't. Okay. So there we go. So I covered a whole lot of different stuff there. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me leave y'all with this here. So yesterday I did ABC This Week, and I came home and I said I didn't feel like fixing me something to eat. So I said, let me fix me a bowl of cereal. And y'all can tell by this video because you're gonna see some frosted flake right there on my face. So I have a niece, and Deval Patrick, former governor of Massachusetts, may run. Eric Holder, former attorney general, may also run. That ain't what I heard. That's what I know. That's what I know. So I always like to leave y'all with a little fun, a little light note. So my niece, Atlantis, okay, really gets on my nerves. Atlantis, how old are you? Lanny, how old are you? Okay, she's 20. She gets on my damn nerves. I really wish she get out of my house. So, Lord, I wish she'd get out of my house. So this happened yesterday when I came home. I just want y'all to check this out. Listen up, people. Y'all gonna have to pray for me. Because I'm gonna sit here and smack the hell out of my niece, Atlantis. Let me tell y'all what just happened. I just came home, okay? My house. She was like, oh my God, you scared me. I thought somebody was breaking into the house. Why ain't you call ahead and say you were coming home?
I didn't say call ahead. I said, why didn't you say anything?
It's my house. What the hell I gotta say something for?
Okay, well, we all communicate with each other when we're coming home.
Give a damn. No. Your little scary ass communicate.
No, I don't.
So then I fixed me a bowl of Frosted Flakes. She gonna go, is that my Frosted Flakes? Who the hell bought the milk?
Okay, but I ain't got no food. Y'all got all this other cereals. I have one to
Hold up, she ain't got food. Guess who pay her? I do.
Why are you doing this?
Lost her damn mind.
No,
Listen up, people. Y'all gonna have to pray for me, cause I'm gonna sit here and smack the hell out of my niece, Atlantis. Pray for me. So, I'm gonna sit here. So I'm seriously, I'm going. This is my house, okay? This is my house. So I don't understand people who are in my house trying to sit. Oh God, what?
You're telling the story wrong.
I'm not telling the story wrong.
The whole story wrong.
No, I'm not telling the whole story wrong. No, you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
How you gonna sit here and try to question me in my house?
I didn't do
and
that.
Step into the damn camera if you're gonna sit here.
I did not do that. I had said I thought you were going to text because me and my aunt communicate when we're leaving and coming home.
See, let me explain. They communicate. Ain't got a damn thing to do with me. This is my house. I don't need to communicate with anybody. What?
I didn't question you. People think I'm being disrespectful and I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
I don't need to text. I don't need to text you.
Okay, we thought
saying I'm coming home.
So that's why I said it. I wasn't being disrespectful.
And so then you're gonna sit here and then question me about some damn Frosted Flakes.
No, I said, did you eat all the Frosted Flakes?
And if I did, it don't matter.
Okay, I wasn't trying to be like all. I was trying to joke around.
Who paid for the milk?
Okay, you did, but I was just trying to joke
around. No.
Hold
on. Repeat that again. Who paid for the milk? Who paid for the milk?
You did.
Who pays for the refrigerator the milk is in?
You did.
Okay. Who pays for the electricity that drives the refrigerator?
You did.
In fact, who do you work for?
You.
Who pays you? The room that you sleep in, whose room is that?
God's room.
No, it's not. No, it's not. God provided that to me. I'm the steward of what God provided. So it's my room, it's my bed. In fact, how did you get the car you drive?
Y'all did.
Who pays for your insurance?
We both do.
Do you pay for your insurance by yourself?
I said we both do.
Precisely. That means without me, you couldn't have insurance.
Yes.
So that means your whole life existence.
It's because of my mom.
No, ain't because of your mama.
Yes, it is. How would I be here without my mom?
No, your mama brought you in.
Yes, that's why I exist, because of her.
Your uncle's sustaining you.
Yes, you should say that.
No, that's just the same thing.
Sustains me, but my mom brought me into this world. That's how I exist.
No, so bottom line is, I don't get questioned about nothing. Are we clear?
Yes.
Are we clear?
No.
Are we clear?
Yes.
Go.
Love you.
God, I don't love you.
Yes, you do.
I can't stand nieces and nephews.
He loves me.
I can't stand. Get away. I can't stand nieces and nephews. I can't. All right, y'all. Hit me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter at Roland S. Martin. You can go to my Facebook page as well. I want y'all to follow me. Click the alerts. Click the alerts on so that way when we go live, it pops up on your Facebook page. So y'all can enjoy that. Somebody said, am I going to the OWN network? Hey, y'all, I have not talked to OWN. Nobody has called me at OWN, none of that. I'm still under contract with TV One through August 31st. But there are a lot of things that I am looking at and stuff along those lines, and I'll keep y'all abreast of those things real soon. Again, so follow me right now on Snapchat. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Roland S. Martin. You can also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? I want y'all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then you can also follow me on Periscope because, again, we do this live stream. If you want, we do the live stream on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook. You want to download this podcast, go to iTunes, go to Google Play, okay? All right, so I want y'all to do that. I'm about to go. I got to go watch the national championship game. I shall see y'all guys tomorrow. Y'all have a fabulous day. Stay woke.